Are we going?
Hey guys, join the story Salsa Assassin. It is the Saturday night Smokers Panel Live. So yeah, this is the third try. Hopefully this will work because that number is still not correct. So I don't know. Like all the numbers are not correct. So if we got disconnected, we got disconnected. Right? I think that's the right way to say it. If we got disconnected, we got disconnected. So today, hopefully nothing bothers us because we're gonna try the final version of the I.T.S. Project I.T.S. cigar. All right, Shadow Smoke Legion in the Shadow cigar. Now we have Val in the panel who will smoke vicariously through us because he gotta smoke a different cigar. We have Eric over here. He had a copy of the cigar. We have a shameless Martin who knew that if he forced his way into that house, he'll get one. So, so yeah, that's what's going on today.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm ashamed.
Oh,
If you live closer, you would.
right? So
no, if Val lived close, he'd be like, "Hey, Aaron, come pick me up."
Yep.
All right, so oof. Well, obviously, now we have smoked this before, right? And Martin has only seen the cigar like through a wrap, through the cello. And now that you have it out, what is your impression on this? Like, what do you think?
It's fucking gorgeous, man. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like it's more than I thought you guys were gonna go with. It's got like a foot band. It's got the double band that goes around the logo. It's fucking nice.
Okay, so the band is nice. Tell me,
More than
what does the cigar itself look like?
I didn't know what to expect, and I'll say that. So when you guys added a foot band, you added a double band, it everything pops. It looks really good.
All right. Okay. Want to say hi to the people in the chat room? Steve, Camping, Right Guy, and El Presidente. So today, this is it. This is like the only version that we got that has the 3-band, really. That's correct size. So we finally got them. We're going to smoke them.
Okay. Big band,
and hopefully
second band, foot band, middle waistband, and the necktie. Okay.
Like, should you guys take some picture and stuff like that? Just upload that so people can tell. Like,
Oh, yeah.
my. Okay.
Horrible picture.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, bad.
Now it's frozen again.
All right, let me do my job. Let me do the YouTuber thing.
You need your smoke.
That's true.
So
Martin, I need lights. Nope.
what? What the hell? Here's Sosa. So the cigar, yeah. We did a lot to the band. We did a lot to the design. And finally got it done. And
You take a picture.
All right.
Take a picture.
take a
What
picture.
are we doing? Am I posting it?
You might as well post because I
You
can take
might
a
as
picture over
well.
here.
What the heck?
On Facebook.
I posted on Discord.
All right.
Okay, it's in the shadows.
For those people who can't see on the Discord, I guess Eric, go post on your Instagram right away. Now.
Why?
Now.
Do it.
What the fuck? Then I need.
You need. Just do it.
No. I need
I
to look pretty. I need it to look pretty.
I need Nike.
Do Instagram.
Just do it.
Lights.
Camera.
No lights.
Oh.
Yeah, today is yeah. Hopefully after we smoke this, it will still be just exciting.
Jesus Christ, this is horrible.
Just exciting. So we'll give him a second to take that picture. While give a few seconds for the rest of people to arrive today.
Oh, there you go. There. What's like? All right,
Jeez, took forever to take a picture.
I know, huh?
bro. I ain't like you, bro. My picture should be money.
So
All
for those
right.
people who doesn't know, the cigar is a Maduro cigar. It's 6 by 52. MSRP will be $19 and a box of 20. Okay, limited to 500 boxes. Yeah, that's pretty much all the information, right? The blend is undisclosed. So, have you
figure-
mentioned who you work with to make the cigar? So Eric and I went to Dominican, and we went to the factory Las Lavas, in Dominican, to make that cigar, to blend the cigar. And obviously, other than these three names, Tony, Eric, and the Cuevas, the rest of the people's names shall remain secret.
Okay, so with this project, let's do a little recap, a little summarization here for some of the people that may not know. I mean, I know
Mhm.
the background of it. Okay, so a little background would be, I know you had talked about doing a cigar about 2 years ago. It was brought up, it was mentioned, never really pursued, but it was mentioned. I remember that distinctly. Because when you get something in your brain, Tony, when you get something in your brain, it kind of sticks with you.
Mhm.
And then I'm really surprised that you waited, because usually when you get something in your head, you shoom, go full board, head on it. Okay. So it's not like it was just something that was thought of a year ago. This was, I joined in 2021. So the latter part of 2021, I know this was just a brief mention, not really a big discussion, because Tony's thought is, what can I do? What can I do? What can I make? What can I think of? And myself and others that say, let's slow down. You do a lot. Sometimes I think you do too much in a short period of time, but that's how you are. You steamboard, you steamroll, you know, everything goes straight ahead. So what I want to know is this here, after you and Eric got together and this process started to really become much more than just a mention, it became a discussion. Did you and Eric sit down and put down a timeline, or did you just kind of talk about it and then just kind of let it develop and go on its own, like a little domino, a little bump, a little domino, a little bump?
Okay,
So
so
that's part of what I want to know.
we have constant discussions, right? Okay, so that one night we were at the tribal and we're just talking, and he talked, and then and all of a sudden I forgot how we got to that, the whole conversation about I still want to make a cigar and I want to make a Maduro, right? Because we have,
I know that part. I know that part.
but let me finish. And I remember around that time I was having a serious issue with our 5th-year anniversary cigar. And I was like, oh man, I really wish that it was done right. Because the 5th-year anniversary cigar is great, but it lacked the identity of the shadow.
Oh,
Right.
man.
So I was like, hey, let's go make that cigar. Let's make a cigar that's done right. The bend, the blend, everything done from the scratch. And I say, and then like I was like, well, how much is gonna cost? I was like, I don't know. Probably 20 grand each, about 40 grand. And then like, we didn't talk about how long it's gonna take.
What
we
else?
thought we
What
thought
else?
we thought it was gonna be like as soon as we go over there, we gotta bang 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 bang. Might take 6 months or within the year. That's but then it depends on how we got it done, and then we talked about it in Miami. I
Right.
think, right? I talked about it in Miami. I talked to Lewis about it in Miami, and
Okay.
that's how we
So
start. And then like the timeline wise, it's always like what we got done and how much longer it will take.
okay, so let me just backtrack a little bit. So at the Miami meet, did both of you talk to Luis or mostly you, and then you kind of bumped it back to
But we
Eric?
both walked over to Louis and then talked about it because I mentioned it on a text to him already before I get
Okay.
there.
Okay, so then that was really the step off point right there.
That was the point of initiation.
Okay, so
The point of no return was
okay, so look
actually
at so at that time, now you had your discussion is done. You and Eric spoke to Luis. You got the discussion done. Afterwards, I'm talking maybe a couple of days later when you're back at home. You guys are back at home, or even 1 to 2 weeks later. You guys talk again about okay, we're gonna do this. Let's write down a timeline that we need to get to, and we need to talk to Luis about going to the DR by this date. And then
no, we didn't do that.
you didn't do that.
So we knew it was gonna take time, but the time depends on other side, right? We were first part of it was putting money together, and then Eric has this whole other things going on, so we kind of put it in the stop for a little bit, and then he got back in. So he was like, oh, maybe I can do it, and then he jumped out, and then after we put everything together, we talked about maybe we can do it, and then he jumped back in. I talked to Lewis, and I was like, whenever we can go, we'll go. Right? Whenever you're going to DR, let us know, we'll go. And that's when I think Lewis said that I'm going to DR in 2 weeks. 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
Whoa.
I can't remember. Right, Eric? That was 2 or 3 weeks.
What?
And now, for Lewis to go to DR. So this was March. Like end of February, early March. And Lewis is like, I'm going to DR in 2 weeks. If you can go, come back Monday. And I got on the chat that night. I was like, Eric, buy ticket now. Let's go.
Yeah, no warning. No warning. Just like, let's go. All right, bye. Bye. Click.
Yeah. And it was
Okay.
like and that was the point of no return. Once we arrived, we went to Lewis's house. We sat down. We talked about the next day, and that point, like Lewis was serious. Like he was talking about like the cigar, this making this and that, some repercussions. Like this is business, blah blah blah. And that was the point of no return. So once we get on that airplane to DR, that was the point of no return. That was like we are going to do it.
Yeah.
But before that, it was more like planning. Can we do this? Can we not? Are we sure? That kind of stuff. But once I got on the airplane, go over there to make the plan, that was no return. No return. And this is why this project was so not very informed until we got there, because we were not sure until we actually doing it. And and it was from doing it to not doing it was 2 weeks.
Okay,
from not
so
doing it to do it is 2 weeks.
okay, so now you guys talked about the finances. You talked to Lewis, and all of a sudden it was get up and let's go. It happened quick. Everything is on the run now.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get to the DR. What time did you get to the DR? Time
It
of
was in
day.
the morning.
Just give
It was
me
in the morning.
So you got there early morning.
Yeah.
And you went to, did you go directly to where, I'm going to ask these questions because I'm just curious.
Hold on. Before we go for the question, we need to light out the cigar.
Yes.
Right? Because
yeah,
they're
Hey,
waiting.
look at-
They're looking
I'm
at
lit.
me. It's like,
I
stop
am
talking.
just lit. I lit it. You guys are
Right.
slacking up.
Let's go.
So let's light this up. Let's talk about the initial of the cigar, and then we'll talk about the history of the cigar. All right, here we go.
I'm nervous cutting my bitch.
Yeah, I'd be nervous cutting her too. She might be packing.
It's
She might
dry.
be packing.
All right. So you went with the straight cut. I went with the V cut.
I always go with a straight cut, bro.
The draw is good on mine. Great.
It's dry. It's dry.
All right.
Okay.
How's the draw? Give me. Come on. How's the draw?
The draw
It's
is
like
great.
dainty.
The cold draw is woodsy and a little bit cocoa,
What do you?
A little mustiness.
a little bit mustiness,
Okay,
a
what do
little
you-
bit dampiness, just like
There's a little bit of spice around the lip.
yeah.
What do you get? Is that what you're getting, Martin?
Nope. I got a little bit of a danky woodiness.
Okay, so that's dankness, woodiness, mustiness. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, dude, this toasted note smells really good when you toast this cigar. It smells really, really good.
Okay, then give me that toasting aroma. Come on now. We want to know. Don't hold back.
It's just like a bold woodiness.
Okay,
A bold,
bold.
charred woodiness. Little bit of dark,
It's really dark wood.
really dark woodiness.
Okay. And do you concur, Martin?
I don't know yet. I got a soft flame going.
Yeah, I'm talking about the
Okay.
toasting notes, the smell
Toasting
of that
notes.
Yeah, I don't smell anything yet.
smoke.
That's what she said, but that's beside the point.
Little woody.
Okay.
It's like really dark tone wood chocolate char.
I'm getting a little bit of a chocolate smell.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The smell is mixed with a dark wood.
Yeah. Woody
Okay.
chocolate.
So now we got a consensus with all three of you guys for that part.
Yeah, the smoke smells really dark and peppery and just dark chocolate pepperiness.
The aroma smell bold though.
Okay. Okay. Now listen, before you take your draw, you know you're supposed to talk to your cigar, say sweet nothings to it.
I've been talking to this cigar for weeks.
Well, wait a minute, you've been talking about that cigar.
No, I've
but
been
not-
talking to this cigar for weeks. Every day I'm like, just few more days. Just few more days.
All right. So, okay. So I want to start with Martine first. Did you do your draw yet?
I've got the pre-draw, like when you're drawing the smoke in to get it lit up. There's a really long type of finish. Kind of reminds me of like a nice wet cedar wood, a little bit of a dark chocolate note.
Okay, one more comment and then you're done. I don't want to hear no more.
Oh, when you're waiting.
Yeah, one more comment.
Take another draw, refresh it.
I still haven't taken that a full draw yet.
Oh, you
Okay.
didn't.
Okay. So then, okay, I'll come back to you. What do you get so far, Eric? Just making, just give me
really
two,
not.
just give me
I'm not
two
fucking-
things. Just two things.
Okay, retrohale, nice sweet baking spice
Okay.
with a tiny bit of white pepper.
Okay. And Tony, I want. Wait. Oh, I don't want no more. Tony, give me two
What,
things.
just 2 days?
Just two things.
He said baking spice, right?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of floral.
Tastes bold.
It has this bold, long finish that's similar to a probably a combination between a flat earthiness and a flat leatherness. Like that has no flavor, but it's that texture kind of thing that lingers. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Martine, now what? Now give me one more thing, Martine, or give me two things since you didn't take the first hit.
He did.
Just now, yeah.
He took it.
All right. White pepper on the retro.
Okay.
Like Tony was saying, there's like an earthiness. I don't get floral, but it's just a long, dark, toasted woodiness. The chocolate, it's kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It almost tastes like a burnt type of chocolate, but it's really nice. It lingers on the top of the tongue,
It's a long finish.
and it's very oily.
Ah, yes, I do get that. Okay,
Very
nice shit.
oily.
That's nice. That's nice.
Okay, so with that, with the long finish, do you get any dryness to the palate at all at the end?
It does because the finish is so long that you also not only you get the bitterness, you get the dryness, and you also get a really weird sweetness. So like almost like eating a burnt caramel. So it's bitter
Okay.
and sweet, but it's bitter first,
Okay,
and then it kind of wears off.
okay. All right, so then now I know I only asked you guys to give me a couple of things, right? And I did that for a specific reason. Because as you smoke through it, I'm going to come back and ask you guys, what did you taste that just one or two things each that you tasted that you didn't tell me? Okay?
But somebody
I'm-
else did.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, and then you can concur with it. But
Okay.
It's like
but the thing is,
pipes that just sit in the pellet after.
But the thing is,
well, the thing is that I'm trying. You got three different palettes in front of me,
Mhm.
three different levels of experience in front of me. Two people which have been smoking that cigar through its stages till they got here, and now you got Martine smoking it for the first time. So I'm interested in to see what the finish for him is, because you've seen the development of the cigar along its way.
okay.
So I am thinking, I'm sure, I hope I'm sure, but to the point where you started it in the very beginning to right now, I want to hear a percentage change. It changed by 50%, it changed by 80% or whatever.
Oh, I can tell
Okay.
you immediately. Our initial prototype compared to this is not the same length. So we literally when we make this, we don't know how the first third is gonna taste like.
Okay, but with that in mind, I have to also remember, and people may not know, that there was a size change. Yes.
No, it was not a size change. So when we go there, we were set on 6x52. All right.
Oh,
Okay. But here's the thing: when you roll a demo, there's no point to roll that much because you might just throw them away
Long.
after 2 puff. So it was a short. It was like 5x52 that we smoked.
okay. So I was under the impression that it was a 6x54 and ended up being a 6x52.
No. It was six. It was out. We always ask for 6x52 right when we get there. Is that when
Okay.
you're rolling a demo, there's no point to roll that long. You can make
Okay,
it longer,
yeah.
so it's got just chopped off anyway. But you wouldn't
Okay.
want to do that long because if you smoke a couple puff, it was bad. It goes right to trash.
Okay, so all right, so let's stop it right here because I want to go back. I want to go back, take some steps back. Now you guys are in the Dominican Republic.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm an interviewer. Okay.
Yes.
Tell you
Yes.
what,
You want to
I'm an
know.
interviewer.
You want to know all the answer, and the only way to
Well-
do it is to ask.
Yeah. So so now you guys are in the Dominican Republic. You land. You go. Did you go first to where you're
We
going
were
to
there
stay at?
separately. We were there separately because we had an earlier flight than Lewis.
Okay,
Lewis had a later flight.
okay, but you went from the plane directly to the place where you're going to stay.
No, we went to plane. We went to landed. We find a taxi to drive us there. And that was hell. That was kind of like, hey, translate, But
Okay.
we got to where we need to be, and we check in. So it wasn't with Lewis. stuff.
No, I know that, but you went from the plane to your hotel or to your Airbnb.
To an
or-
Airbnb, like a place that we rent.
Okay, so you went there.
Mhm.
Now, did you stay there the rest of that day and meet with Luis the following day, or
Yes.
did you meet up with
Yes.
him that night?
We meet it the following day.
Okay, so the following day, and I'm just going to use these as example days. I know these are not the real dates that you guys went,
Mhm.
but just for examples. All right, just for examples, people out there, just examples. That's all this is. So you fly out to Dominican Republic. You get there on Monday. Tuesday, did you make contact with Luis about a time to meet up at
Yes.
the
It's like
factory? or
No,
the-
we were there the first day. We already contacted them,
at
and we
this
talk about how we got to meet up tomorrow.
Okay.
like
So we didn't waste time. The first day we get there, get situated, do what we need to do, and and he had to take care of all his things because he's busy. So
Right.
the next day we have example and things to start. So we talk about this
Okay.
meet out the next day.
Okay, so now you guys go there at your specified time. Well, again, this is just example, people out there. So you guys meet up, let's say 9 o'clock in the morning. Just an example.
It was something
Now,
like that, yeah.
Okay, so when you met Luis there, did you go to a room and just talk about the tobaccos at first, of what possibilities or what availability is there?
Yeah, we sit down. First thing is like he gives us a tour, and talk about the places and stuff like that. So obviously you guys saw the video. We show you guys the tour and stuff like that, and then we sat down, and then we start talking about tobacco, and then he asked us what we want and stuff like that, and we start giving them all the things that we thought that's the information they need, right? And then he's like, no, you guys stop. This is not.
Okay.
People don't blend cigar like that. All right.
Okay.
This is not what you do. Right? Don't give me this and that. Tell me what you want. Tell me how strong it is. Tell me this and that. And they give us another set of things that we should be telling them. And that's when we realize that these cigar, telling you the region doesn't do shit.
Okay, so now you're learning, you are learning about the actual. I mean, theoretically, what you're doing sounds correct,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
But
the night before, we sat there. You guys probably heard our recordings that we talked about all kind of leaf that we want to use, right? What's the blend? What's the ratio? All that. We already talked about that. And then we went over there, and then we told him all that. And Luis basically that doesn't tell me anything. Whatever you just tell me doesn't tell me anything. But let's start with this. Whatever you think the cigar tastes like, it does not taste like that. If you think the tobacco tastes a certain way, it does not. Okay? And he gave us like some fuma, just basically leaf rolled up.
okay,
And he lit it up and said, smell it. And it's like, oh, okay. And I remember the Legion wanted Brazilian Matafina.
okay,
And so we mentioned it to him. And he's like, do you even know how Brazilian Matafina tastes like? And we, kind of like, yeah. And then we realized that the way that you think how Brazilian Matafina tastes like is because the blend.
right.
So he gave us some Brazilian Matafina to smoke. And literally there was one of them. We just puffed one time, tossed right into the bin.
Okay,
Right? That
okay.
was the Brazilian Matafina, right? One of them. Eric?
huh?
One of the one that we smoked, like literally two puff or one puff, and we throw right into the bin.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was a Brazilian Matafina too, right?
It was a Matafina blend that we did not like it at all.
It was so bad. Like
I found the
even
whiskey.
Lewis himself, like, nope, that's not, nope. So
Yeah, like we throw away really quick actually. Like
yeah, that
Okay.
bucket quickly filled out with like 8-9 cigars. It was
Okay,
quickly.
so then he had different fumas for you guys to taste to get an idea of that tobacco taste.
Yeah, like because we'll keep talking about region blends, region,
Okay.
this region, that region, this region, and then we quickly got shut down. It's like you guys. This is not how cigar blend is. Whatever you see, that you think that information matters, on the like when you look at a cigar, it's like, oh, this size, the wrapper is this, the binder is this. That doesn't mean shit.
Okay, so now, see, and I would, me being new to cigars still, I consider myself still a student. I'm probably under the same impression. Well, I want, I want this tobacco leaf from this region, and I want it from that region, because when you read the
But you-
information about the disclosed tobaccos,
With that and that, you got popcorn.
you're getting that information. But what you don't know is the amount of tobacco that's being used from that region
Whiskeys.
to blend that cigar, to make that cigar.
No,
You
no,
may get
that's not what I'm trying to say. Well, first of all,
Okay.
I want to stop right here. This is how much I smoked before the chocolate just went from like 10 to like 100.
wow. Okay. Oh, good
Right?
construction there.
Did you guys get that? Like the chocolate just ramped up.
No, the chocolate
I
went
got-
away from me.
I got right now. I got a lot of good danky with a little bit of sweetness,
I get so much chocolate right now at this point.
with a mild tone of woodsiness in the background.
I get mild.
Pepper died down a little bit on the retro. Now it's more of a dark wood with a slight dark honey, I would say, on the retro.
Yeah, there is honey in here. It was like all of a sudden it got so sweet that I just retro hell and then go boom. I got chocolate right there.
What whiskey is that?
Old Forster.
Old Forester, and he got freaking popcorn.
I took a sip. I let it soak in my mouth, and then I slowly swallowed it. Immediately after I took a puff, I got popcorn.
Okay.
All right. So we all got different things at different because the first third is just not like unexpected. It was not to us. Okay. So
Okay.
what I'm trying to tell you is, Val, when I say, Val, today you're eating rice. All right. You're eating rice. Okay. That didn't give you another information, right? Let's add one more information on there. You're eating Japanese rice. Does that tell you anything?
No.
All right. You're eating
Just tells me it's from
Japanese
Japan.
rice from the Nagoya region. All right. That's more information now, right?
Yes.
Okay. But even that doesn't tell you which farm,
Is it-
which blend, which time, which crop. None of that.
Right.
Which part
Okay.
of the plant it came
What
from.
part? Yeah. Okay.
None of that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
telling him what region we want to use
On a pellet.
is not enough information to do anything, because you're not telling him the most important part. What part of the
Oh.
plant do you want?
Okay.
Which sourcing? You got to source your tobacco. So what are you sourcing? What are you sourcing?
Okay.
You get none of that information. That's why you go to like, oh, I want a Honduras wrapper, I want a Nicaraguan binder, and I want a Dominican and Sumatra filler. That doesn't tell them anything. That
Yeah,
doesn't tell them anything.
you're giving them tobaccos they use, but it might taste terrible.
No, you give them the tobacco they use, but each region has thousands of tobaccos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So we're
Yeah,
not telling him what
okay.
to use. Like, you tell me the country, and then what? You tell me you want to eat Italian, but what do you want to eat?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's good information. That's good information. Okay. All right.
And
All
this
right.
is why we want to keep our blend undisclosed. That's to teach everybody that information doesn't do anything.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So now you and I'm guessing that both you and Eric had tested out some of the fumas. And when did you guys start putting the
What is it?
tobacco together to try to formulate this cigar?
A little bit something to take away.
So
Anything else?
this is the part of the story that might give it away. So I'm gonna be very careful.
And my palate was almost dead.
No, you
So-
can just say it was 2 days.
Oh no,
was
that was
like-
day one.
Day one.
Day one when we get there. So the second day, day one. Day one, working with Lewis, we already have cigars made, like demos done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, we were not kidding. We were there, like, all day.
Yeah.
Like we were there freaking from opening to closing, just straight up smoking.
Okay, so we tested out different blend, and we knew we got to start from the ground up. But he's trying to get his concept to us. He's trying to teach us that, like, the information that you think how to blend cigar is not how it works. Because you're giving me such a high level information, that none of the information you need is there.
Mhm.
Like you saying, you want
Okay.
Italian food. When you ask what do you want, you tell noodles and red sauce. You still didn't tell much. Yeah, exactly. You didn't tell them much. So we got frustrated a little bit, and it was like, and then we kind of give some idea to Louis, and then we start joking. You know, it's like we want to smoke one of these, and we start naming whatever we want to smoke, but
Mhm.
as a joke. And then Louis said, I'm gonna make one. I gotta make one. And so he went in there and started rolling it, and finally came out and smoked it. And he also came out with 2 other ones, right? 1, 2, 3, right? There was 3. 2 other one with the changed binder, because you cannot change the wrapper. Once you decide you're Maduro, you don't change your wrapper,
Okay.
right? You choose, like you know, if you decided to eat noodle, that's noodles first, right? Everything else is garnishment. So noodle first. We got noodle, and then he changed the garnish in there, and so we changed the binder, and we smoke all 3 slowly. And I think the number 1 was a hit. No, number 1 was the hit. Number 2 and number 3 wasn't. So we smoked the first one.
Number
Was it
two. Number
No.
2. You liked it.
I liked the number 2, but when
Yeah,
we
that-
smoked number 1, I remember when we smoked number 1, first thing we do was we looked at each other. Like,
We look at each other. Yeah. We're like, yep, that's pretty damn good. And then we tried the number 2. You didn't like it as number 1, but you did like the number 2. You like it so much that you carry it back.
yeah. And that became
fish market.
Yeah, fish market. So the second one has more vanilla bean flavor to me, and I
It's
like
super-
that vanilla bean sweetness. But
To
because
me,
of vanilla, it also gives floral, and he hated that floral.
So you got to give and take, compromise and stuff. Okay.
But this is where it is, like, because we knew that when the cigar ages, it changes flavor.
Right.
So we need to have a spare just in case. Right? So number 1, number 2 was pretty good. Number 3 was like, forget about it. Right?
Okay.
And we did some minor tweaks. We did change 1 ingredient.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we did. We changed 1 ingredient. And then the second day, third day, we went back to tweak that ingredient.
Okay. So when you say you changed the ingredient, does that mean you changed that leaf out completely, or
We changed that leaf
you
out
changed
completely.
the
Yeah, we-
amounts of that?
No, we
No, we
changed
took
out that
out-
leaf out completely.
We took it out.
Okay.
Like I was
Okay.
dying with that first one, so, and it was
Okay.
lacking. So and we changed it, and then after we changed it, we smoked it. It was perfect.
Okay. So,
Right.
all right. So now Monday you arrive. Tuesday you meet up with Louis. Wednesday, what happens Wednesday? You meet up again and you retaste the same things over?
No, okay. Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, every time you try to do a new blend, it takes time. All right, you change one thing, it takes time for them to roll it, and they have to sit there for drying up before you, because that cigar is wet.
Right.
All the cigar we smoke is so wet. You probably never smoked a wet like that wet before. I'm talking about like when you take a puff, bubble comes out. Every single one of them.
It's like the
Oh.
water You can see the water evaporating from the tobacco.
Yeah. When you're taking a draw, you can see smoke and
See, see-
steam.
and steam coming up at the same
Right.
time. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So it
Okay.
takes time to do that, but in between time, we're talking about the cigar. We're talking about how we gotta roll it out, what is needed, what we need to prepare, who I need to contact. We went to a box factory right next door that flopped. You know, all that stuff. Like, you know, there's a lot of things to prepare. The band, okay, the band, 3 band, the band design. So we got band design. That's one thing. Band making is another thing. Box is another thing. Label is another thing. Okay, label's another thing. Yeah, it's probably 4 or 5 things that we had to prepare for,
A lot of musty,
Okay.
right?
musty wood.
And also we talk about, you know, potential, you know, how to source, what it costs, sizes, shape, all that stuff. Like it was, you know, any time between time that we're waiting for a tobacco to be rolled up for us, it's a lot of talking. Now, obviously, in between time, there's food, like lunch. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So I'll take a little pause right here. As you're going along this journey, are you or Eric or both, number one, are you taking notes? And if you are you taking voice notes, text notes, or actual handwritten notes on paper
We
along your?
roll it and we record it. So
Tell the truth, we didn't really write down notes.
we wrote down the blend.
Yeah,
and
we
we
wrote
wrote down
down.
what we changed.
Okay, okay, no. So no, what I'm thinking, what I am thinking is along this process, you know, and I'm just thinking if in the future, and I'm talking 2 years, 3 years down the line, if in the future you've gone through this experience already once now, okay? So you know what to expect. You kind of know what to anticipate. You're probably not going to be surprised by much, although I would expect a bump in the road every now and then. But I'm just thinking if you had something to fall back on to take a look at your notes and say, oh, yeah, I remember at this stage, this is what happened. And we're at this stage right now, for a comparison type of thing.
No, that's more like you make the mistake and you learn not to make that same mistake again.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
when I smoke a cigar, it's like when the flavor hit my palate, it's like implanted into my brain.
Okay.
I don't really forget the flavor.
Okay. So when and at what day did you both agree that this is it?
It was second to last or last.
It was second to last. We already said it on it. And the last day that we actually tried one of the blend that has been converted too.
Oh yeah.
We were there to take the demos before we leave because we were so sick. And when we talk about number one, we have a lot of number two. Okay, right? We were so sick at the last day already that we're just there to take the demos and finish them and all that stuff. The last day.
Okay. So then, now this is now that process is done. Now you're coming back home.
Mhm.
Now you get home. After all that testing of smoking all those fumas and blends and figuring everything out, how many days did you take off from smoking a cigar?
0 days.
0 days.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, 0 days. I mean, it's more like we're smoking and we're still in that mode. We're like, okay, the next step is this,
Well,
next step is that,
wait,
and we're
the,
smoking.
the reason I'm asking that is because I remember Eric saying that going to that last phase, your palate was burnt.
Yeah.
It was, but like it's also because we're sick too.
Well, okay, yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, you guys there, 5 days, you're smoking every day, you're testing this, you're testing fumes, you're testing the blend, you're tweaking it, and tweaking it, So now it's all done. Now you're coming home. I gotta take a couple of days off of smoking. I gotta.
No, it was more like because we're still talking to each other. We're trying to get things figured out. But while we're talking, we're smoking a cigar. We don't necessarily taste it, but we were still smoking.
Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't taste great, but
Okay.
Because we're sick.
we still, to this day, when we smoke cigar and if we know something, a note that we like or tobacco that we like in there or whatever, we still talk about it. We still talking about blending.
Okay.
So you gotta
Okay, so-
constantly remember, like every time you find a cigar that's good or a combination that is relatively good, you have to think about whether or not is a contender for the next blend, right?
Yeah.
Because like we realize the things that when you get there, when you go to blending, you better know what you wanted, or else you're wasting a lot of time trying to figure out what you want.
Okay, so if I say, not knowing anything about the tobacco leaves, and I say, you know what, I really want this to taste very similar to, and I don't want to say the brand because I don't want to give any advertising to the brand, but I want to say it's very similar to this one.
It is
They would
possible
have
to
they
go
would
to
have
a
an
factory.
idea of what kind of tobacco leaves to use to try to get me that.
It is possible to go to bring 3 cigars to a factory and they'll cut it open and take a look what leaf is there and kind of guess what it is and get really close
They
to it.
pretty much guess to close
Okay.
enough, or then that. But even then, it's hard to tell. It's hard
Let
to.
me give you an example. Filthy Viking from Cigars Daily. It was made by
Yes.
Rocky Patel.
Yes.
Before. When they
Yes.
moved to Plasencia,
Right.
they obviously take a look at the tobacco that was used, figure it out, and get it to very close. That a lot of people will say it's very similar, but some people will find out it's different because their taste bud or whatever experience. But they'll get it to close enough.
Okay.
They might not go exact because every tobacco factory have their signature tobacco that they use. They just order a lot of those. So their cigar blend tend to taste one way. So like if you taste Espinosa, they always have that pepper that tastes the same.
Right.
You taste Casa Cueva, they have this base note that always tastes the same. You taste Oliva, they always taste like Oliva. You can tell it's Oliva. So they always have that signature thing that they use the most. And how do you convert that note to something that you know already? It can only go so close. Unless you
Right.
get the exact tobacco, you're sourcing the exact tobacco. But if you got to do that, there's no point to change factory.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
I agree.
So they could get to really close, but based on what they have. And then, add a little bit this, add a little bit that. Because in the end, what we can tell is notes, right? Coffee is coffee, but can you tell what coffee that is?
Okay.
Right? When you're smoking and you say you got a coffee note, but can you tell us Colombia coffee or Ethiopian coffee?
Yeah. No, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's close enough, but the people who are dedicated enough, they can say, well, the old Filthy Viking tastes like a Colombian coffee, and now with the Nicaraguan tobacco in there, it kind of tastes like a Ethiopian coffee. But it's so minor, most people isn't going to be tell the difference. But if you can actually taste the both, you can tell, then it will be different.
Okay.
Are we at first stir?
Yep.
Dude, my ass dropped and my burn line's still great.
My thing is curved, but my burn line is great.
Yeah. That's
Burn
good.
that crooked.
No, it's got some good construction there. Got a nice ash looking. All right, so now we got a little bit of cigar stuff there. I want to talk about some of the bumps you went along the way for the cigar, but if we can just talk about the bumps and not the financial aspect of it.
The financial aspect was never the bump. Literally, we
No.
went in at 40, and a couple weeks later, it's like, that's not going to be enough. Let's do 60.
Okay, we'll go that.
And
So
we already went over that.
So what the first bump I want to know is did you have any difficulties with making the band?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about that. What was the first bump on
It's
that?
communication issue. So I got a designer to design the band. And the designer who designed the bands designed a lot of other bands. Like, probably 50-60% of the band that you see in the market is designed by this guy. Right?
Okay.
So this guy sends the file to the band company. And the band company somehow opened the file, it was wrong. So he made the band out, it was completely wrong. And the detail wasn't there. It wasn't looking like how it looks like right now.
Okay.
It was, and I had to call them up and say this is wrong. And the most expensive part of making the band is making the mold that cuts the band. All right. And you're looking at $300 to $500 each.
Wow.
Each mold or each color. All right. So this particular band, the main band has 6 of them.
Okay, now see, and I never thought of it that way, but I guess it's very similar to doing a screen print on a t-shirt,
Yeah, similar to that.
right?
Similar to
Very
that.
similar, a layer of this, then you got to go to the next layer, then to the next layer. So the band process is very similar to that.
Right. So like, you know, each color, each shape. So each color has its own mold, its own casting, right? And then each dot has so each item, like a element on the band, has its own die. Okay, so you can see this one has white, black, gray, red, and orange. White, black, gray, red, orange. That's 5. Okay,
5.
and all the gold embossing is 1. Okay, and then all the shape is 1, and each one needs to be made in order to work.
Okay.
So this is why you had to make so many just for 1. And the second band, less detail, still need 2 or 3. Last band, less detail, needs 2 or 3.
Okay.
That's the most expensive part. So here's the problem: when the file was wrong, they had to remake all the mold again.
I remember that part.
Wait a minute. You couldn't use the same mold. You had to change
No, because
it.
it's wrong. The detail was wrong. So
now
in
that's
order
a-
to work,
now
you can't
that's-
just add that detail in there. You have to go back to the factory and make a new one.
So now that's a setback.
That's a setback.
Okay. So now you lose time.
Not only you lose time, you lose money.
Well, yeah, that's the financial aspect of it. Okay. So now you got the band done. What's next? The box?
No, the band, a lot of setback is that they're always busy. You had to keep contacting them when you gotta make a thing. And then realizing that the cigar band industry does not give you proofs. They don't send you an example.
Oh, wow.
So once they start making it, it's just path of no return.
Oh, wow.
So when I talk to them, they say finally they start making it. I'll say, okay, you're making it, but when I'm gonna receive a demo of it? They're like, we don't do that. We already print out 10,000 of these.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So at that point, it's like, Lord have mercy kind of thing. So I keep asking him for pictures, for video and stuff like that to inspect it and stuff like that. And it looks to a point was okay. And then there was one thing that we had to tweak. It was the hologram on this thing. You're not gonna be able to see it because it's so tiny. But it was originally to be a black dot because want to fit the theme. The black dot does not show. So we ended up changing it to a holographic one, so it shines up.
Okay.
But that was a process. So the band took 6 months of communication back and forth.
Okay.
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 While that's happening, box is happening too, right? And box happening is same thing. Send the thing, get them to make it. I show you guys in the show, like when we received the demo of the box, I showed it to you guys. There was issues, and then we had to go back there, have them tweak it, send another one over, that kind of stuff. But while doing that, I was so unsatisfied with it. I also contacted another factory to make the humidor factory to make a box that I told them the same thing. Like I give both company the same spec, and obviously the company over there did not understand it, but the company that I use my native language to explain, understand it. So that's why I have 2 versions. But one of them is significantly expensive, takes longer to ship, and then you won't fit. Like at that time when I told you guys how much it was gonna cost, it was in over 20s. You guys were not okay with it, so we couldn't do that, right? So we had to go with whatever box that we have.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
So along with the box, the making of the box, you have the information about the dimensions, height, width, depth, length, whatever. Where does because when I'm thinking of a box, I'm thinking everything to make that box is part of that box, like the hinges. Is that separate too?
Okay, so when you decide on the box, you tell them what you want, and they tell you whether or not they can do it. The hinges, the magnet, all that stuff, you tell them what you want, and they can say, okay, we don't have that part, but can you do this? If you want to do that, we can source it, but it might not be what you wanted. So this is where you have to give and take, right? Depends on which factory you go. They might have the part, they might can fabricate the part, but how much money you want to spend on it?
Okay. Okay. So How many bumps did you have with the box?
Quite a bit, because you know, it was a painting issue, part issue, and then the end gets you know, what we needed and what we don't need it kind of stuff. And we're deciding back and forth. And literally, at one point, I was like, Aaron, forget it. Let's just eat the cost. Let's just eat the cost. We have $10,000. We have $500 over there. We make another $500 of where we want it and send it over. Remember that, Eric? We had
Yep.
like a big screaming contest on that one. In the end, we still decided to go with whatever original because the timeline.
Okay.
Yeah, because we already have $500 made, and I was like, oh, okay, fine. And then, you know, the hardest part of getting all these things done is not getting them done, is how to pay them. I can't just send them a check. I cannot send them a check. So in order to pay them, I had to wire the money over. But keep in mind, once you wire the money over, it's wrong account, you're never coming back.
Yes, that's true.
All right. And the company that I try to wire money to has 4 different banks routing the money to them. I went to the bank and showed them, they're like, I don't know how to do this. You just need 2. Why do you have 4? So eventually we had to do tests. So every test I sent $10 to the account. But here's the thing, right? You think $10 in the account is normal, right? It costs $50 per transaction.
So it costs you $60 to send 10.
Yeah.
Theoretically, yeah.
And I had to do it 4 times. Just for one company. And I had to do multiple company. In fact, there was the barcode ban. It was so hard to pay the guy. I just tell Lewis, pay the guy, I'll pay Lewis back.
Okay, so all right, so now along this, we've got the cigar, you got the band, you got the box done. Any problem? And I don't know, are the cigars cellophane?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any problem with the cellophane?
Nope.
No, because
They already the part of cigars, once you decide everything on it, the rest of it is automatic, because they've been doing that all the time, right? They know how to do it.
Okay.
So the next bump we run into is the factory actually gave out a demo 6x50.
Oh yes.
Hey, hi, Roland. So we got a 6x50 demo, and you guys saw it. We smoked it. It was still pretty good, but we're like worried. Like, what if they already rolled a lot of those?
Okay.
So we smoked that. We're not happy with it, and turns out that batch was bad. So that already been rolled. Like they rolled the right size, but the demo they gave us for some reason was 6x50. So the tobacco wasn't good enough. I reached back. They say, well, that they smoked it too, and then they realized the tobacco wasn't good enough. So we had to scrap that entire batch that's been rolled. It wasn't a lot, but we had to scrap them. Right? It wasn't 10,000 cigars, but we had to scrap undisclosed amount.
Yeah. Okay.
At this point right now, opus less quality. I just want to
Wow.
like it's sweet wood with dank. It's just like how I would love to smoke an opus. It's like that.
We're almost at halfway. Should we talk about the notes?
Oh yeah. Give me some notes, Tony. Give me some notes.
I get sweetness, honey, coffee, chocolate, woodiness, dankiness, little bit, very minor amount of pepper with spice.
Okay.
A little bit, small amount of earthiness, and
Okay.
a lingering finish, and a lot of smoke output.
All right.
No, Martins.
What about you, Martine? Same thing or anything additional?
Hold on, we're making a video.
I see that. Strangers in the night, exchanging glances.
All right. So from the first light, I didn't mention this. It was very oily. You get those dark notes. And then all of a sudden, it did transition to like a floral, almost like a poppy seed type of flavor that was coming from the cigar. As soon as it hit that first, like, I would say maybe 5 to 8 puffs, I started getting that floral note that Tony was talking about.
Okay.
I got a little bit of like a poppy seed note, like
Okay.
poppy seed bread or bagel, something that you would get like the poppy seeds on. Now it started to pick up strength. The pepper at the beginning, it kind of tasted like it was a strong white pepper to where it almost gave you like a cotton mouth taste. Like it felt like your mouth was super dry,
Right.
but then the oiliness just coated your mouth. So it was like a lingering, oily, dark woodiness with a little bit of like a dark chocolate that was fading away and more oiliness was coming through.
Okay. Okay. And Eric?
Like I said, it's like a dark girl fonte oversize for me. It's literally just like really dark woodsy note with a whole bunch of danky. On the finish, it just like sweet caramel but burnt.
If you don't know how a cigar would taste sweet, this cigar is very sweet.
It is very sweet.
All right. So let me ask you this here. Did you taste a little chocolate as well, Eric?
I always taste chocolate, man. This whole thing is chocolate.
Okay. So let me ask you a question now. With that chocolate and sometimes when I have a little chocolate in the cigar, sometimes I pick up a little hint of cinnamon. You guys get any of that?
Cinnamon, no.
I didn't
No.
get-
No, because
Not-
cinnamon
no.
usually has a little burn to it, but this thing has
Right.
a little
But
bit
it's
of
like-
like a
okay.
light pepper burn that kind of
Yeah,
you won't be able to distinguish between that.
I think it's on the palate on the finish when it's tingling.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little spice tingling sweetness. Like
So-
if you call that cinnamon.
No, with cinnamon, you would know distinctly. It'd be a little bit of
The
sweet.
cinnamon has a little bit of that
state.
cinnamon muted taste, and
Yeah.
it has a little burn, but it's
A
not
little
the same burn. It's not the same burn.
Okay, so all right. Okay, now I'm thinking of the dry mouth aspect. Any
The dry mouth,
saltiness?
I think, came from that. There is a little bit of like a baking soda ish finish that makes it dry up a little bit.
A light saltiness?
Yes.
Yes, salty.
Okay.
I want to ask Martin this because he said it, but I want him to hear him say it. Is it a lot of flavor?
It's fucking flavorful. It's a flavor bomb.
Okay.
Is there
Okay.
any blank spot?
No. Not at all.
Okay, so Martin, you mentioned something interesting. I don't know if everybody caught it, but what are you drinking with that Old Forester?
So I've got the Old Forester and it's 107 proof, I think. So I had to
Okay.
put a couple drops of water in it. It opened it up.
Okay.
Bring in, so it pairs really nice with whiskey. I wouldn't go with like a full proof. So like, I don't know, like a milder whiskey. But it did bring out more flavors because I did notice a popcorn flavor that came through before I put a little bit of water in it. So popcorn, a little bit of like a burnt toastiness. Just overall, it's a well-rounded cigar.
And it's only normal to taste that because you're drinking a bourbon, and bourbon is made out of corn, right? And it's got a little bit of woodiness to balance that, and plus the sweetness and the butteriness of this, it might remind you of popcorn.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that was really important to us. The flavor had to be strong, and it had to give enough flavor to justify the strength, and it's gotta linger, and it's gotta have the whole way.
Yeah.
We didn't want no dead spot. The dead spot really bothered me when I smoke cigar. So that was my goal, is to not have dead spot in any part of our cigars.
Okay, now this might not be fair to you guys, but I have to ask you this because I find myself doing this when I smoke a cigar sometimes, and I hear about a cigar,
No touch of recall.
about the tasting notes that some people get, and I find myself smoking the cigar and studying the cigar
Mhm.
and searching and looking that sometimes not sometimes, a lot of times I don't enjoy the cigar because I'm trying so hard. I'm pushing myself so hard to find that note. So as you guys are smoking this right now, and I would probably say, because this is like what, the third iteration of this cigar that Tony and Eric have smoked and Martin's
Fifth.
first time.
Fifth.
Yeah.
How many?
Fifth or
Five?
sixth. Fifth or sixth.
Okay. All right. So you've seen the developmental changes along the way. I am thinking that the first time you smoked it, you studied the hell out of it. Second time you smoked it, you didn't study it as much because you started picking up the things that were there before.
No,
And
every
there's-
time we increase the critique on it. Every time we increase the critique on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because especially as the time goes, the flavors start to marry each other more. We really need to make sure that it's as good as the first time we smoked it, if not better.
Okay. So are you all of you, are you finding yourself enjoying the cigar or just trying to search it?
No, I'm enjoying it. I'll
The
tell you.
notes are so heavy that there's no way you don't catch the notes.
So I'll be completely honest with you guys. Before the show, I told Tran, I was like, if it's shit, I'm gonna tell you it's shit.
So you're skeptical.
No, I wasn't skeptical. I was just telling them because if it's shit, I'm gonna tell them, hey, it's not a good cigar.
Yep. I wanted that too.
100% without a doubt, this is a fucking good, flavorful, flavor bomb cigar.
Okay. All right. All right. So now we've gone through getting there to the Dominican Republic, getting it done, getting back home, going through the bumps along the way with the band, with the boxes, with the demos, the prototypes or demos that you guys got the 5 changes that you came along. Now you're at the final point. Yes, this is the final stage.
This is the final stage. This is literally the product you gotta get.
Okay, so I want you to think about this, and I don't want you to answer it, but I want you to think about this because I want you to answer it when you're finished with the cigar. And this is what I want you to think about. As you're smoking it right now, as it tastes right now,
Yes.
there's 2 things I want to know.
Mhm.
Okay, you can tell me the first one, but hold on to the second one. The
Yeah.
first thing I want to know is
Fucking
is it ready to smoke as soon as I get the cigar?
Yes.
Okay. That's a yes.
That's number 1. And number 2 is after I smoked it the first time, and don't answer this, I want you to think about this because we'll come back to it at the end.
Mhm.
Do you think waiting X amount of time?
We talked about this too last week.
I know, but I want to redo it. I want to redo it. I'm doing this in case somebody's jumping on new, don't know about the history of it. How much time are you going to wait, or how much more time do you think that it's going to peak? It's going to peak. Just think about it. Don't answer. Just think about it.
I want to mention this cigar right now as is smooth as hell too.
Okay.
Is
With
it
that,
not?
ladies, we'll take a commercial break. Brought to you by Opus X.
No, Martin, is the smoke smooth or not? Just take another draw and puff out the smoke. Is the smoke smooth or not? I think the smoke is really smooth.
It's very smooth.
Me and Martin were just saying it have more flavor than the Liga number 9.
I believe that.
Whoa.
Very into
That's-
cigars, but
That's a big, bold statement.
that's
there.
the bold statement.
That
but
is.
I'm gonna say
That is a bold statement.
I'm gonna say it is so flavorful that it overpowers a lot of cigars that I've smoked on the market. Not in a good way. It's almost like the amount of flavor that you're getting from the cigar is more than you would expect just looking at the cigar, just hearing about the cigar, not knowing what it is. This is for what the price is going to go for. It's right at that mark.
It's punching it,
100% right at the mark.
punching the price. holding his own weight,
But
man.
here's the thing, right? Martin, let's say if I replace this band, right? I replace it with Opus 6. I charge you $50 for it. Would you just think that, oh, yeah, it's about right. It's like Opus, something like that, $50?
I don't know.
Without knowing what this is.
He,
It's just
the thing, like he already know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you want me to answer that because I've smoked Opus X. There's some good, some bad.
Yes.
But I say I replaced the band. I didn't tell you what this is. Hey, this is new Opus. Try it. And
You
then
you can give me a cigar without a band, and I would still tell you exactly what it is. Or
yeah,
exactly.
and then I go. This cigar is a Opus for $50, and you wouldn't be surprised on it.
I would believe it.
Yeah,
I would believe it.
because that's one of the thing, right? Between me and Eric, we smoke various price cigars, and we want our cigar to taste at least to be able to beat the price that we're charging. It has to beat the price that we're charging. It has to be this. One of the biggest thing that we talked in the very beginning. Val, you didn't ask this question, so I'm gonna answer this. Right? Is we ask the cigar must at least hit one criteria: is that we have to not mind smoking 10,000 of them. Because if we don't sell it, we have to take it home and smoke it. That's one of the things we talked about.
Okay, and how I review my cigars is after I taste it the first time, I'm gonna break it down into two aspects. Am I gonna want a 5-pack and is that it? Or am I gonna want a box?
You want 2 bucks?
But before I would just buy a single this, and finally I said, I got to make a change. I got to smoke a cigar, and if I buy one, that's fine. But would I buy 5 of them? And if my answer is no, I won't buy 5 of them, then I probably won't buy that cigar again. Okay. Now, once I get to that 5, and do I like the cigar as a 5-pack? Do I like it enough to own a box of it? Or is it just, am I going to make it a part of my 5-pack cigar rotation? Okay. So that's how I look at it. For me, that's how I look at it now. Am I going to get a 5-pack? I can name a couple of cigars I tasted the first time, and I automatically knew I had to get a box. Okay.
I feel drunk, like I'm drunk with the flavor of the cigar, man.
So, all right.
Yeah. For us, it was like we got to make sure that if we're gonna make a cigar, it had to be something that we're willing to smoke it all if we don't sell it. And that was the one thing. So unless we get at least that, we can't produce it because then we will end up with a cigar that not only it doesn't sell, we don't even like ourselves. Then that's a problem, right? So knowing that Eric's standard cigar is Opus, it had to be at least a standard Opus for him. So because that way that he can smoke it every day.
Yep.
For me, it had to be at least a standard Davidoff that I smoke all the time, so that I can smoke it all the time. And this cigar feels that. And this is why we're so critique. We're willing to scrap if it's bad. We're willing to do that. We're willing to like, okay, this is not good enough. We can't do that. No. It's missing this. It's missing that. It's too harsh. It's like, I remember the first one we smoked. At the end, we're like, it's a little harsh. It's a little rough. And it was just not. That tobacco was not ready, right? And that kind of go with the Val's thing. Where would you think that whether or not it will last better, will it sit better? Which we'll answer in the end. We'll answer in the end because we have an answer for that. Literally, after I smoke it right now, I'm even more sure of that. Okay.
Yeah. So let's just hang on to that. Keep people in suspense a little bit. Keep
What's the pricing? It's $19 a cigar.
Have a little cliffhanger on that.
It's $19 a cigar, and I'm pretty sure that anybody smoking this will be like, I got $19 worth of flavor in here. Because it's...
We didn't compromise any flavor.
How many per box? 20.
We didn't compromise anything on this blend that we did.
But keep in mind, we only made 500 boxes.
Yeah, keep in mind for that.
Okay, so I am really looking forward to tasting it, and then this way, uh, and I'm yeah, I'm just looking forward to tasting it. I really am.
And Val,
I'm
we kept,
intrigued. I'm interested. When I first heard about it, of course, I'm there. I'm in. I'm in on the cigar. I know I'm going to get one. I know I'm going to get a box. I know that. Because hey, it's our club, and I got to support our club, and I got to support you guys because you are the club. Yeah, very nice, very nice.
we're in line.
Like,
But
we're
Val,
not
we
gonna
did-
let everybody down on this cigar. Like we really try hard. We really try hard on this cigar.
So,
we
okay,
kept you in
so-
mind as well, Val, because you don't usually retro hell. So we kept you in mind to keep the
Yeah,
palate.
that's one of the things that we talked about when we were
Yeah.
sitting over there. We're like, this cigar needs to have flavor even for those people who cannot retro hill.
Yes, that was the goal too. And you know how hard it is to reach that goal? Like that goal was it's just ridiculous.
Look at. I'm gonna tell you about retrohaling. I've tried it a couple of times, and I have a hard time. Well, the first time I did it, I thought I was gonna die. Okay.
Mhm.
I thought my brains were gonna burn out. My eyes were tearing. Uh, you know, couldn't catch my breath. My nose was burning. My throat was burning. Um, and then I didn't know that when you retrohale, you're supposed to just do like a small amount of that smoke. As you let it go, you hold on to a little bit amount, and then you retrohale. No, I try to do the dragon thing. Let it all come out, and boy, I suffered. I suffered. I suffered. I suffered. And I've tried. I just have a hard time doing it. So every now and then I'm successful, but more unsuccessful than I am successful. So, yeah.
Yeah, we keep everybody in mind because, like I said, this cigar was made for everybody who consider themselves smoking the shadow. Okay, all the supporters, all the club members, and all that stuff. So we had to make sure that even the beginner are able to, number one, smoke the cigar, number two, taste all the notes,
Yep.
right? And obviously within reason pricing.
So
And
with that in mind, okay. So with that in mind, we know the price point, and for those people out there that want to get it, you have plenty of time to save up for it. You have plenty of time to get it. So I know if I want something, sometimes I have to give up something to get what I want, and that's what you got to do, right? So yeah, there it is.
yeah,
And go,
for those people
and-
wonder, like, Tony's gotta be making a killing, making this at this price, guys. Just do the math, okay? Keystone pricing divided by half, and then divided that by 60,000. See where you got. See where you got. We broke even after Uncle Sam take it. We broke even, if not lost money. We're at a point where we lose money. Okay, just for people who wonder, it's like, Tony, you shouldn't charge this much, but we literally broke even, if not lose money.
Well, yeah, and for those people that don't know or don't remember, I distinctly remember Tony saying he was going to try to keep the price point down as low as possible to make it as affordable as possible, and that was the goal. Okay, it was never anything beyond that. And if this is the best price point that he could do, him and Eric could do to keep it as low as possible and as affordable as possible, hey, there are cigars out there, and I'm sure we bought cigars. I know I have bought some cigars to smoke with other people for certain occasions that, yeah, I did it, and maybe I shouldn't have done it, but I did it because it was a special occasion for those people, and I wanted to be part of that, and I wanted to support them at whatever that person was celebrating. But would I have spent $100 for one cigar? Probably not. Okay, but think about the amortization. You're getting 20 cigars for a good price. All right, for a good price. Just think about it. You buy one cigar for $100, 5 cigars. So the value's there. The value is there.
Yeah, we try to keep it as low as possible. We cut out a lot of things, and a lot of things that we try to just eat the cost, and basically it's not a big deal. Let's eat that cost. We did that, and this is not all that budget is not including us flying all over the place and get this done. All right, so like this whole thing, it might sound like, oh, it's expensive, but if you think about it, we're trying to do the bare minimum in costs, and try to eat the rest of it. Eat the rest of it. We did quite a bit with what we can do.
Well, hey.
So now here we are. We are on the threshold of the release. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about that. We know that the release is going to be May 24th.
Mm-hmm.
We know that it is going to be in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much what we've got going so far, because I don't think there's been an established venue place to have it at, but I know that's probably in the works.
Right.
It's it's being investigated. Let's put it that way. And I know that as soon as that information is available, Tony will be posting that stuff, in the regular places on Discord and in the Facebook areas.
All right, here's the thing, okay? Because how scarce of the tobacco that we use, we have a very limited amount of demos. Literally, between Eric and I, we have 20 sticks. That's it. All right. It's not that we can't make more. I mean, we could, but then we had to source more tobacco. Like literally, this tobacco, we always, it has to be a specific level of good tobacco for us to use. That we don't have a lot of it, and we had to really watch out how much we have. So we only have 20 stick between him and I. We can't go to the shop and then here's a demo for you guys. Would you like to carry our tobacco, our cigars and stuff like that? So because we can't do that, we cannot just go to a cigar shop and host a release party. You can't go to a cigar shop to do a release party if they don't carry your brand. Okay? So this is why we have trouble looking for a venue. So we're still searching for a venue. But, however, for somebody that asks, will we have a release party in the East Coast? If you find your local shop that's willing to carry our brand and have a release party over there, we'll do it. I mean, at least I will go. I'll do it, right? But the problem is that we don't have that. We don't have a shop that's carrying our cigar yet. Like nobody, like there's only a handful of people that smoke this cigar.
Yeah, and everybody out there, let's keep in mind, this is not, as I understand it, it is not a cigar brand. It is not like Oliva. It is not like AJ Fernandez. It is not like those other companies, the other boutique companies who are coming out with a lineup of cigars for their brand. This is a specially made cigar, specifically designed for the club. However, being made available for others. Okay, not just Shadow Smokers Legion members. Okay, but for whoever's available or interested in trying to get the cigar. All right. So trying to get a cigar shop to host that brand, especially when you're not a brand, you have a cigar, you have a specific cigar for a specific reason for your club. Okay. So that's kind of, that might be a tough sale to do, but try to work on it, which is what is being done.
Yeah, and really the best way is for you guys to talk to your local shop and have them contact us if you wanted to carry 1 or 2 boxes over there. And if they carry at all, we can bring more boxes over there. We can run an event, give some stuff away, that kind of stuff. But right now, we had to first find a place to have the party, right? And it will have to make sense for everybody, right? And the reasons we do Arizona is so that we don't have to transport those cigars. The cigars will already be in Arizona, just have to truck it over. Okay, so this is why it's in Arizona. It's not because we refuse to do it anywhere else. It's because, number one, we don't have a shop that's carrying our cigars at this moment. Number two is that where the cigar is located at. It wouldn't make sense. If a shop carry our cigar, we can ship X amount over there, have a party over there, and then either they keep the rest or we can ship it back. I don't care. I can take it home. I will smoke them. So, but you guys wouldn't want me to smoke them because trust me, I will smoke them all. And Eric, he wants like 1,000 to himself. So,
Say what?
You don't need it? If you don't need it, well, if I open another
1,000.
I'll take it.
I need like 5,000, bro.
So that's where it is. Like, it's like in order to fill this order, we can't do crazy stuff right now. Because I don't know if we can source another batch of tobacco this quality.
Yeah, and I also want to mention that because Tony and the club has a pretty good relationship with Luis Cuevas and Casa Cuevas Cigars, that his man, I have to say his generosity in helping us, not us, but us as a club, not me personally, but us as a club to get this done. You can't say enough about the guy.
Mhm.
Can't say enough about him.
He did us a favor. Like, anybody else go over there with the idea that we have, the blender will probably say that's stupid and not do it.
Yeah, the blend, they would just laugh at it.
Yeah, they will laugh at it.
Why
And I
would
can
he-
tell you there's only one other cigar that I know of did almost the same thing. Did almost the same thing. And that cigar is $50 cigar.
And I don't think it's as
It's not in circulation anymore.
I don't think it's as flavorful either. So tell the truth, it's not.
It's not.
I don't know because of the size or whatever, but it's not as flavorful.
Yeah, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. There's
I
only
know.
one other cigar that kind of did the stupid thing that we did.
Yep.
We did it differently, but in concept, it's the same stupid thing. Like on paper, it's like that's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask Tony, where are you at in your cigar right now? Bring it up
Faster?
and take a look. And Martine? Oh, Martine, man, you a slow smoker there.
It's hard to not smoke this quick because so much flavor. You just keep puffing at it.
Okay,
And the
okay.
smoke is smooth enough that you won't have problem with it.
I'll show mine. Where am I at? I can't even see my cigar. There,
And look at our
can't
smoke
see-
output. It literally, it's like
can't see
chimney.
it. There we go.
You can feel the strength.
Yeah, the strength is kicking my ass.
Yep.
Is it? Okay. So yeah, let's talk a little about that. We know it started out bold. Has
It
the
did.
boldness maintained itself, or has it
It's gotten
suddenly
stronger.
come down a little bit?
It's gotten stronger.
Well, so the strength is just perked up.
It started out with a full body flavor and
Okay,
then a medium strength. Now
okay,
it's like medium plus, maybe going into full.
okay, okay.
Like I can feel it. I feel like I'm drunk off the flavor. It's a bold cigar.
You sure it's not that Old Forester you're tapping into?
Not. It's because normally this kind of calms me down, but the cigar strength is like it's there.
And I can
Okay.
tell you the original version is even stronger. It's so strong. I was like, I need to go get some air. Remember that I was sitting outside. I was like dying.
Yeah. I have to come outside. I was like, hey, bro, you all right? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I just need to be outside.
Okay, okay.
Keep in mind,
Very
I was
good.
smoking two of those at the same time, right? Remember we were tasting back and forth, two of them?
Yeah, we like puffing back and forth between the two.
The first one was very strong.
That day you smoke a lot. Like you smoke a lot more than me because my palate was dead.
Mhm.
I was sick. I couldn't taste anything. And I was like, I remember that day vividly
Did-
because I told Tony from the beginning of the day, I was like, yo, it's all up to you today.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. So Eric, when that happened to you, was it because you guys were smoking so many testings?
no,
he was sick.
I was literally sick. Like,
Oh,
like, my palate is dead because I was sick.
His nose is plugged. His stomach's not doing well. Like we were
I
taking
couldn't-
turns to go to the bathroom.
I couldn't taste anything that day.
okay. All right.
And keep in mind that like the time we're smoking the cigar is super wet, super strong, super wet, super strong.
Like imagine just smoking fresh fresh cigar is not the way to go, man.
right? It's just not. It's not fun. It's not fun.
Okay.
Like I admire for the people that go to lounges or places of that and stuff that they fresh roll your cigar and they fuck you smoke it right away, boy.
Can't do it.
No, let
Yeah.
that shit dry out a little bit.
It's
Yeah.
just wet. Like I will be smoking. I'll be looking at the cap, and the cap will be bubbling. I'm just staring at the bubble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I know many of us. I don't have any with me. I usually do, but a lot of times when I come out here and in my smoke tent, and I know I'm going to be out here for several hours. Okay, I usually have some type of chocolate, some M&Ms or some Hershey Kisses or something like that available. You guys have? I'm guessing you guys have that available.
I already know I'm gonna smoke it, so I actually have a chocolate cold brew on here. So it's chocolate and coffee to match this is perfect right now for me.
I actually have a full blown sugarcane drink from yours.
Okay, and how about you, Martine?
I had a whiskey.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Water, and
Yeah,
I've
you
got
got
an Arizona green tea.
Well,
Keep the
Yeah.
sugar up.
I gotta, yeah, I might start drinking this Arizona tea.
But also keep in mind this stream is going on for 1 hour 30 minutes, and 1 hour 30 minutes we just got to second last third.
Yeah, we still smoking. So door
So
glass,
that's-
great. Construction, no touch up whatsoever.
yeah, I noticed, and I know it has some good ash on there. I know Martine had a pretty good ash going, and he tapped it off because he did not want to be ionized.
Right.
No, I tapped it out so that I can taste the freshest smoke, make sure the flavor is there. Because when you have
Okay.
ash, you're also drawing air through the ash to get some of those
Right.
ash taste. So I
Right,
wanted to make sure I
right.
tapped it off and not getting anything that's not should be there. You know?
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm pretty excited and looking forward to getting that cigar.
This smoke output is no joke. Like every time you see
Okay.
them puff out, that whole entire screen is smoke.
Okay, so let me double back or triple back or quad back a little bit. You guys are in the DR. You're with Cuevas. Tell me a little bit about his father. I know you guys had a chance to meet his father.
What did his father say?
Yeah, what?
So when we made the
First
cigar,
off, wait, time out. First off, what did he think or say about
that's what I'm about to say.
what you guys wanted to do?
So he's out. Okay, he was like, "Oh, you guys making a cigar? Oh, great. Good luck." And we walk into the room, and
Yeah,
he was
here we
in his
go again.
office the whole time. Okay, and once we got what we decided on, it was like third or fourth day. He came in, he's like, "This is the cigar you guys make," and he's like, "Yeah," and he starts smoking it. Oh my god, he's so badass! Like he just light it up, and he sit down, said it really well. They were making coffee for him and everything, and he took a draw, and he inhaled that thing.
Whoa,
Inhaled
he
that thing.
inhaled it.
He inhaled it.
he
He
inhaled
inhaled it.
Shit.
And then he hold it there for like a minute or two. It was at least a minute, maybe 2 minutes. He just silent. He just like, and we're just looking at him the whole time, right?
We like we just staring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure he didn't swallow it?
Oh,
No.
no, he's inhaled it. He didn't
He
swallow it.
inhaled
That's a
he didn't
rookie.
swallow it.
Swallow
'Cause
is a rookie mistake. Okay. He inhaled it and he holded it there for
And he
1
let it
minute or
out.
2 minutes, and then he puffed it out. He go, and then he goes, and this is quote, "This is one good fucking cigar." Literally, he swear in front of us.
He swore. I was like, that's the first time the whole time I was there. That's the first time he swore.
So wow, really good impression there, huh? Wow.
And then he walked around, and then we're writing the blends down and make sure this is what we want and stuff like that. He walked out and walked back in and says, "If you guys not making this cigar, we're gonna make this cigar."
Yeah, he say if you guys decide not to go with this bun, like we can put this in our line.
That's pretty good. That's nice to hear.
And about a month ago, after we got the new batch and then we remade this and rolled it and all that stuff, got a text from Lewis. Lewis said that this is the best cigar he make in his factory.
Wow. Wow.
I got text to prove it. Literally said this is the best cigar we made so far right now in our factory.
All right.
So
And can you believe
don't-
that? Like literally, it came out with a joke blend, like a joking blend, and it worked.
So do you know, or has Lewis said anything about if his father has tried it again up to at this point?
They tried it. Yes, they tried it because that's how they know that first batch was no good.
Okay.
And they literally smoked it again, make sure that the second batch was good. That's how they say this is the best blend they made in their factory.
Okay.
So they both tested out, make sure the quality is where we expected. Like it was as good, if not better, than the first time we smoked it over there. Because Lewis's father, the senior, remember how that experience was, and they were not okay with letting out a bad batch too. You know, because it's their reputations on the line as well. Think about that.
Yep.
So like, you know, once we received the cigar, we waited like half a month, right? 2-3 weeks. Every day I was like, I need to smoke this cigar, make sure it's good. But then it's like final product. If it's bad by this point, which is too late. We're very worried. And now that we smoked it, I'm happy with it right now.
If it's bad, I don't know, man. If it's bad, we might have to have a after show talk.
Right? Because the previous one, right after we're done with the show, we talked. We're like, well, I hope it's better. We need to talk. We were worried.
Yeah.
Because you can tell, like this cigar, if one thing is wrong, it's wrong.
If one leaf is not in there, it's not.
That ratio is not right. You're not gonna get this flavor. Just like the second one, like told you, the one that we didn't choose. Literally, it's one leaf different. One leaf different. One leaf different, and that leaf wasn't like a big leaf. It was it's like a half leaf in there, and that made it taste like fish market. One leaf different.
Okay, so let me go back to the cigar now, since you guys have been smoking it. I want to go back to the very beginning. When you guys and I don't want to know about the taste that you guys tasted. I just want to know about the draw. Was it open? Was it loose? Was it medium? Was it snug? Was it tight, or just right?
It just is literally just right. Like the draw and the smoke output complement each other so well that it have enough resistance, but it's not like open. So if you you smoke a Davidoff, right?
Yeah.
Davidoff usually have open draw.
Right.
This is snug enough that it doesn't bother with the smoke output.
Yeah, see, I like a draw that has just a little snugness to it.
Yes, it's
It makes me make a little, just a very little effort to get the smoke through. Okay, not that I have to work at it, and not that it's so loose or so wide open that all I'm doing is getting air, and I'm struggling with the cigar.
Yes.
Okay, I know once that happens, I'm gonna have a problem with the burn. I'm gonna have a problem with the line, and I'm probably gonna have a problem with the ashes as well. All right.
You know me, if it's the draw is any tighter than like normal, I had to poke something out. I have to. And did you see me touch it? I did not. Once I light it, I just puff on it. I did not have to do anything to this.
Okay, so but I can't see on top of your table because I don't know if you have your tweezers available, ready to use. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, there you go.
Oh, the thing is, like, no, you don't have.
He's always prepared. Always prepared.
I don't own one of those things, so don't worry about that. And Martine, what did you? And he did a V cut.
V-cut. It's got just enough resistance to where you take one puff. Normally, I do a double puff. One puff, perfect draw, perfect amount of smoke output. Like I'm slurring because the strength is kicking my ass already. But it's got a smooth resistance type of draw, that you only need one puff to get full flavor with a shit ton of smoke output.
This
Okay.
thing will keep light for a long time. We kept it on the table. We walked out and we walked back. The cigar still lit. When we're
Okay.
testing this.
Down for about 10 minutes and it'll still be lit.
This thing, when you take a draw, the smoke has such a volume that you can feel that fill up your mouth.
Okay.
And even after you finish puffing it, you still got to taste it. That flavor lingers on your tongue.
Look at that. That was just one puff.
The smoke texture is heavy.
It's a heavy smoke.
It's a heavy smoke.
Now that was going to be my next question. Is it a light, a medium, or a heavy smoke?
Oh, it's heavy.
Heavy
You
smoke.
can feel the smoke.
Yes.
The smoke almost have a weight to it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this thing, I'm happy right now.
Happy.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm more than fucking happy. I'm satisfied.
Well, I'd like to say I'm happy, but since I'm not smoking it, I'm not happy. But that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is, peoples. But anyway, hey, look at it. Sounds like it's going to be an awesome cigar. Sounds like it's going to be something really great to smoke. I already see the time frame on it. We've already passed an hour and 40, and we've already passed an hour and 45 minutes with the smoke.
And guess what? Tony used to fucking just eat his shit. Tony just eat his fucking cigar.
Okay, so here we go. Here's another question, guys. And people out there, I'm sure you guys can answer this with some of the cigars that you have smoking. There are some cigars that I have no problem smoking with people, but there are some cigars that I just want to smoke by myself. I just want to go out there and sit down, grab a drink, whatever drink it is, a soft drink, Kool-Aid, tea, coffee, bourbon, beer, wine, whatever. Turn on some music and just sit there and just relax and just enjoy it and, look over there and let my neighbors be envious of me while I'm smoking a cigar and they're out there working. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So is this a cigar that, and I know the experience changes it, because if you're smoking with a bunch of people, you're talking about that socialization experience. But is this a cigar where, Martine, you can do it, Eric, you can do it, Tony probably can do it at any time during the day because of the type of work he does. But you guys, when you get home from work, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go sit down and just kick back and just enjoy the cigar. And whatever time goes by, it goes by. And then deal with whatever. Is this the kind of cigar that you could think of it that way?
I have done it. So I smoked the 50 a few times while I'm thinking. And I was doing work. And it was totally fine. But then here's the thing, right? I realized this cigar is best to be the last cigar.
Yes, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
It's going to be your finisher cigar. It's going to be something that you've had a full meal, you have a dark drink, either a dark stout beer, a bourbon, a coffee drink, something stout. Like, it's going to be the finisher of the day, of the night.
Yeah.
And you'll
Okay.
be satisfied with one cigar. Literally, this thing's gonna take you like almost 2 hours. If you're a light body person, it's gonna take you more than 2 hours. This will be one cigar that you smoke, you have your drink, you're done for the night.
Yes.
You feel so relaxed, you just go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't smoke this thing the first thing in the morning though.
Martine basically smoked by himself this whole time. He's just sitting over here like I'm just gonna fucking
Yeah, it's just like, don't bother me. I want to just enjoy the cigar.
Yeah.
And the reason,
You've been looking this way.
yeah.
yeah, okay.
And you gotta really enjoy it because every puff has flavor. Every puff.
So the important question right now, Martine, you almost finished.
This spot.
Does it die?
No, it's still full flavored. That pepper is still there. It's very light now. I feel it on the lips.
Yeah.
I'm so relaxed. Like
Okay.
it's, I don't know.
Okay. I want to go back to the pepper part. It's a light pepper. Do you feel a bite to it?
There's no bite.
if you retrohale, there's a little bit of a bite. You can feel it around the lips and a little bit on the tongue. It lingers.
Okay.
Yeah. So like
Okay.
I take a puff, I think it will linger another 60 seconds or so, 1 minute or so. Because like, you know, I like even before I take a next puff, I still feel that little tingliness on my tongue.
No ammonia, no metallic, none of that. None
No
of the
no minerality.
no mineral. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no none of those like really bad. No, you are gonna get baking soda.
Well, okay. So let me ask you this, Eric, because I know you're not a big fan of the floral. Is the floral still there, or has it lightened up?
The floral. Okay. The thing about this floral, it's coated with chocolate.
It's like having a vanilla leaf in your chocolate. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like that. So it's not like a bouquet hitting my face. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I say that baking soda is on the finish of that chocolate. So it actually made that chocolate a little bit bolder.
I never tasted baking soda, bro. I don't know.
I taste baking soda all the time. So
What the fuck? Why?
well, I cook. So when I cook, I use baking soda.
Okay.
All right. I don't know, man.
But
I
if,
never.
like you know, here's the thing: it's very hard to notice unless you try to look for it. And when I notice it, I keep in mind that's there. I don't want that to be too much because too much baking soda it start to get bitter. It's not too much. It's like eating. Oh, and here's the thing, right? The chocolate note is like
Knock you down.
it's like 50% dark chocolate, 50 and like 50% milk chocolate, kind of like a taste to it. It's a little bit creaminess to it.
Okay.
that far. Oh, shit.
All right. So
Martin's got to knob that thing.
Yeah, he knowing the fuck out of that thing.
You see, I'm the end. Look at the smoke output. It's ridiculous. I have to crimp up the fan because
It's like,
I
I'm
can't
okay.
see.
So I'm looking at you guys smoking, and I don't remember seeing any of you guys touching your cigar up.
We don't have to. This
Not-
thing
not
burns well.
Because and the reason I'm saying that because I know with my cigar, it went out a couple of times, and the burn got just a little uneven that I had to touch it up, and I didn't see any of you guys do anything to your cigar.
We're literally making the cigar. We talked about this. We added leaf for combustion.
just to make sure.
Just to make sure you'll burn. Yeah.
So you got a good burn. Well, yeah, you got to have it. You got to have that.
Because we hate touching up. Well, I hate touching up. I hate having to pull the stem and whatever plug up. We want to make sure that everything that we complain about, we address. Like when you see our reviews, everything that we complain about, we address.
No
All right,
stamp.
so I know that I probably took up a lot of this time.
Right.
I know I did take up all the time on this here, but I tell you what, since Wednesday, when you guys announced that you guys were going to be smoking it today, I've been looking forward to it. And I just couldn't wait to hear about it again, even though a lot of this stuff is a review and a refresher. But for some of the people that are just watching or don't know about it the first time, I just thought it would be, for me at least, it was a good thing to review it. Yeah, I'm glad it's turning out as good as it appears to be. Again, I'll find out in a couple of months. So yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad.
First impression, right here.
And let's go back to that question that Val has at the end, right? Will this age well? I can tell you there's so much flavoring here, and obviously there's a ramp up in strength that even if you decide to keep this for 3 to 5 years, it's gonna be even better. Because now the strengths are gonna go down, but the flavor will still be there.
Okay.
We already talked about this last night, and we agree 3 to 5 years is where the cigar gonna go.
Don't swallow the cigar. Don't swallow to the smoke. Don't swallow the smoke. It's gonna taste good without it.
It's gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be so freaking good in 3 to 5 years.
Because we were talking about this yesterday. We were like, maybe we should start making another batch, let it sit 5 years and release a 5-year over. But that really depends whether or not you guys like it. You know, because we might not. I don't know, because that's a large investment to keep
First
tobacco.
off, wipe that off the table. God damn it! No.
You know, it's a big investment that you roll a cigar and just keep it for 5 years. That's not easy.
Yeah, that's not easy. That's not easy. In
But
fact,
yeah.
I remember hearing an interview, and watched an interview with Steve Saka when he was talking about his cigars. He was saying for me to get to the cigar to a point, it's 5 years. You know, so what you're smoking now, I worked on 5 years ago. Okay, and I that struck me. I said, "Whoa!" And then it occurred to me that, well, yeah, if you're in the cigar business, you know, you're not thinking about what am I coming out with next year. You're thinking about what tobaccos do I got to get now so that they're ready and I'm ready to go with them in 5 years. All right. So if you're talking about this cigar here, where it's good now, in a year from now, it's going to be better. And a year from then, it's going to be better. And a year from then, it's going to be better. In year 4 and 5, the strength may go down a little bit, but it's going to be the tasting, the boldness, the flavors are still going to be there like it was the first time you smoked it. So that I find that to be really, really interesting.
In reality, this would take 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
If
So
I didn't work the way I do, which I bother the shit out of them, they get so annoying that they will call back and say stop calling. And if you don't work like that, if you work in a standard speed, this probably take 2 to 3 years.
But the thing is, like,
at the end of this project, to release date, that's roughly 18 months.
yeah, you know, and I really thought that was a fast time frame, because I really thought realistically minimum 2 to 2.5 years.
Yeah, we were working. I was working every day. I was. Can I get a follow up? Can I get a every day, every day.
Yeah, but again, you know, when you're the person that's having that cigar made, you have to let your presence be known, because you know it's yours. You know, you
Well, a
have
lot
to
of cigar
stay
companies
on
don't
top of
have
it.
that benefit to do that because they're working
Yeah.
a lot of other cigars. So today they pay attention to one cigar, they have to pay another attention to other cigar, you know, all that stuff, and their deadline for PCA, TPE, and stuff like that. They had to fill those deadlines. So some of them had to move faster than the other. They had to pay attention to that. For me, it's just this one, and to be honest, remember we talked about this. Like I'm gonna try to release by the end of the year. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and you know the truth is, it's impossible. It's impossible. Nobody had the time for you. Everybody had to release other cigars. Other factory had to do other cigars too. So we were working really fast. I'm surprised how fast that we worked on this thing. You know, like at the end, when I calculated the month, I was like, wow, time flew by. Time flew by. And you know, get to this point at this time, I'm pretty proud about that. You know, for a cigar mechanic, he does his release that special box. That took 4 years.
Okay. Okay. So I just want to go back to the Cuevas Las Lavas. Is it
Yes,
Las
Las
Lavas?
Lavas.
So did you get a chance to meet some of the people, or the people that were going to be working on your cigar specifically, or these people on this, they are dedicated to your cigar only for today?
I don't know who specifically worked on it, but I know that they dedicated a pair to do it.
Okay. Okay.
Because it's not, 10,000 cigar is not a lot. It's not a lot. Right? A pair
Well-
can make 600 easy.
kick my ass.
Okay.
So once they dedicated, they were working on it. If it wasn't because of the setback, I think we probably could release like first of this year, but that wouldn't be right? Because if you're gonna do something right, there's gotta be parts that you're not okay with.
No, the shit out.
And we didn't want to release a cigar that we're only partially happy. We want to release a cigar that we can be proud of it. Okay, there is some part that we're not very proud of it, like for example the box, right? But at the end, I look at it as a reminder that this is our first project that we went from the ground up, right? If we want to do it the easy way, we could just go like, hey, give us some blend, we'll just take one that's good, right? And it'll be way cheaper too. I'll guarantee it. That'll be way cheaper. We'll be releasing an $8 cigar.
So much cheaper. So much cheaper.
You know, it reminds me. I think it was Michael Herclock said this year. He said, "You don't want to release your cigar, number one, until you're satisfied with it and it's ready, because you're not doing justice to the cigar, and you're not doing justice to yourself, and you're not doing justice to your customers, your clients." Just saying.
Yeah, we were like, you know, the amount of meeting that we had between Eric and I, and amount of text message and phone call, to a point where, like, you know, they were like, they just pretended they didn't read my email, to a point. All right, and there was one phone call that's just shouting fast. We're shouting at each other, and just try to get things done. We were at that point like many times, just to get this done. Well, I want to make sure that we're happy, we'll be proud of it at the end of it. People will love it so that we can have another project, right? This project was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. A lot harder. And in fact, yesterday, Eric's like, I can't believe we actually did this.
So, okay, so now that you're at this point, you guys are pretty much almost done with your cigar, unless you are done with your cigar. The big question for Eric and you, Tony, is, and Eric, you answer this first. Was the struggle worth it?
Was it worth it?
Yes.
I don't know yet, because for me, the struggle is personal, but my struggle for this cigar is for the people that would smoke it. So until I see them smoke it and enjoy it or not, that would determine my decision on was it worth it. Tell the truth. And plus, part of me, it's worth it because I did it with a friend, a great friend of that.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, I'd be happy. But I just want to see people smoke it. I just want to look them dead in the eye when they smoke it. That's why I want.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you know, when that moment comes, it might hit me more. But as of right now, we still trying to release it, trying to get everything together. Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
how. That's
Now,
how.
how about you, Tony?
For me, for the amount of work and financially, it's the dumbest shit. Don't ever do it. It's not worth it. It's the dumbest shit to do. All right? When Saka warned everybody, says, if you gotta make a cigar, if you don't have $60,000, don't start doing it. And he's absolutely right. Financially, it's dumb shit. All right? You're not gonna make your money back. Don't even think about it. All right? And but as the result of it, I think when it hits, when everybody gets their cigar and smoke it and be happy with it, be proud of it, I think at that time, I think effort will be worth it. And that's with a lot of projects that I do with Shadow Smokes Legion, right? Whatever thing I make, when people's using it, they're happy, they're proud of it. I'm happy, even if I lose money. I don't care, right? But, you know, but that value had to be at the result, not the process. Because the majority of the process is stupid. It's dumb. Don't do it.
Okay. So now I want to throw a different loop into this here.
Yeah.
Because we never talked about the people behind the scene. The people behind the scene is going to be, you know, your wives and your girlfriends. How did Shiza? I'm sure you talked to her about it.
Mm-hmm.
And how did she receive it? What was her process?
Well, my wife been with me for a long time. She knows that if I decide, even if I have an idea, I'll end up doing it, no matter how hard it is. I just like, you know, somebody mentioned it, I'll find a way to do it in the end. So she knows that, you know, once I say, I'm going to make a cigar from the ground up, she's like, okay, it's going to take a while. You know, she already know. She doesn't mind it. She think that, you know, it's only normal process. That's always been my thing, is that if I want to do something, I do it. Like I don't let any excuse to block me from doing it. I try to do it as soon as the opportunity arises. Like, you know, if I have a path to do it, I do it. You know, and so she understands that, and she's like, you know, it's just one of those things Tony does that, you know, once he want to do it, he's got to do it all the way to the end.
Okay. And how about you, Eric?
When I told her that we're
I
gonna make
know,
it,
and she probably said you're crazy.
she's like, okay, that's all. That was her response.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it. Okay.
She's
Oh,
like,
all right.
so, one thing is, she asked me, "Am I gonna buy more cigar afterwards?" And I was like, "I don't know yet." And she's like, "Okay." And she's like, "I think you should stop buying cigars since you have 10,000 of them."
Yeah, just, yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah, like no hard time, no nothing. She just bear with it.
All right. Cool. All right.
But then at the
Very
end of
good.
the day, it's my decision to tell the truth. So I don't know. Kind of weird.
And,
wanna
and I
talk.
think the one of the benefit here is the culture, right? For Asian culture, the woman understand that if the man's got to do something, you encourage it. If you can't encourage it, just let it go. You know, it's one of those
Yep.
things.
I go. Yep.
Yeah. So we get that. I mean, I got encouragement from my wife. She's like, you know, you gotta do it. Make sure you do it right. You know, she asked me how's it going. And sometimes I get really stressed. I walk around, say, man, how am I gonna do this? And she'll be like, oh, you'll figure it out. Don't worry about that. You know. So there are a lot of those times where, like, you know, after the phone call, I hang up the phone. I get angry. I turn out the phone. I open the door. Like, fuck, you know. And then she'll be like, what's going on? And is it the cigar? I was like, yeah.
And me, when I show my girl a cigar, she's like, "It look gangster." So yeah.
It turned out good. I mean, I'm hoping that this thing turned out well, that we can have another project. You know, and one of the things I worry about is how we got to beat this project. How we got to beat this project. And the conclusion is really not to beat this project, is to have a project in a different dimension, kind of thing. You know, not make another Maduro, because it will be hard to beat this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
And now we're at 2 hour point. I just about finished, and everybody know how fast I smoke. I talk and I smoke quick. Usually,
Yeah, let's do it.
I will have smoked 3 cigars by now.
Yeah. So
Force you to just sit.
so roughly, you guys have been smoking that cigar. Whoever has one left, you have yours left, Martine, or did you finish it?
I'm done.
You're done. And Eric
I'm done. I'm pretty much done.
and Tony.
I'm done.
So this is at least a 2 hour smoke.
It's a 2 hour smoke, and that's with you being able to handle the strength.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you're a beginner, you smoke light cigars or light to medium cigars, this will take a little bit longer, maybe 2.5 hours.
You're probably gonna throw up.
Yeah.
If you just keep puffing, like, I know this thing tastes really good, and you gotta keep wanting to puff on it, but you also want to understand that this flavor lingers. You gotta let the linger to wear out to a point before you take another puff.
Okay. So we're gonna say this is a medium,
Medium plus.
full straight medium plus,
What do
bold
you-
flavors,
It was.
a lot of flavors, and a good lasting finish.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
You gotta enjoy it. Like, I smoke this, I have no complaint. I don't have a complaint. I think at this point I'm happy with the final product.
That's good. That's good.
If you're not, we're still going through.
Oh, this thing we didn't mention. We even complain about the leaf color.
Yes.
We even complain about leaf color.
The last
we
one,
were,
yeah.
we were expecting them to have all the leaf the same color, which is impossible. Now the leaf is gonna be the same color. But we even complain the color. But right
Yeah,
now
we-
they got it really close. They got it really close to all of them.
Yeah, the thing, like, you know, like, as a reviewer for like 2 years now, and I criticize a lot about cigars. I give a lot of praise to really good cigars as well. But yeah, everything that I critique, I try to not. It doesn't happen to the cigar. That's the goal, right? So
And our original version is a lot darker. It's because it's wet.
Say what?
Yeah. But we try our best on this. Like I think the finished product is good. Yeah. Martin's like ready to hit the night. He's like, I'm done.
I'm done.
Martin, what's your final verdict?
Awesome.
All right, so I know we've been on here probably extended the time we usually do, and I probably took up a lot of time asking
okay.
these questions, but like I said, I was looking forward to this part, the seeing a cigar smoked, to hearing about it, recapping a little bit. But I do have to ask, is there a question of the day from the boss lady?
No, she knows I was stressed about this. I was pretty worried about this final smoke. And you know, she didn't bother me all day, so
I wasn't stressed at all, bro. I was nerve wracking to fucking try it. I'm like, need to fucking smoke it.
yeah. I was thinking about the smoke all day. I was like, I make sure I gotta have a good meal. Make sure
Today-
that I don't eat anything that's gonna tint my flavor, you know, that kind of stuff.
No, I didn't care about that. I ate, but I was at work, and I swear to God, today was the longest Saturday ever in my life.
Oh, because the anticipation, right?
He
Yeah,
wanted to smoke
Yeah.
a cigar for a week. He's just like, oh, let's just do it on Wednesday. I was like, no, let's do it on Saturday. Let's let it sit. Let's make sure that the cigar is dry because when we receive it, it was kind of wet.
Okay. Okay. All right. So that's a good thing. So I
Yeah.
think that you know how Bob, I don't know if Bob still runs that segment. Have you got 5 minutes?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I figure we can name a segment for Shiza, and her segment will be called I Have a Question.
She doesn't always have questions that I can bring to the screen. A lot of them are very political.
Well, hey, listen, you gotta, narrow it down and say, listen, we're gonna add you to the show. And, you've got 7 days to come up with 2 questions. One question for Wednesday, one question for Saturday, and we're gonna name it I've got a question.
Yeah, she have questions, but like a lot of questions are not screen worthy or appropriate.
I would say appropriate because
Yeah.
sometimes he texts me like she's like, I was like, what the?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of
All
them
right.
are not appropriate. And the other half of the question is that it's very specific to a situation, a news or something like that. So if you've never seen the news, you will never understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So like I can only ask one that's like a blanket kind of question, but she doesn't usually have that question. She have a very specific question.
Okay.
So with that being said, it is 2 hours and 9 minutes. The cigar finished just about 2 hours. As you guys see, it's very enjoyable. Obviously, don't take our word for it, right? Go try one. So
Yep. Don't take our words for it.
When they're available, they will be.
they will be available. And after the release, obviously once we have the release party information, we'll release it. I really wish everybody can go up there and smoke it with us and give us feedbacks and stuff like that. And enjoy the cigar together because we want to smoke this with the whole community. That's why we make this open for all the community, right? So we want to make sure everybody gets to smoke it, just enough cigar for everybody to smoke it. So once I put out that information, please consider as open invite. Consider as open invite. Everybody can just show up. All right, show up, say hi, have a cigar.
And if you're in
last-
Arizona, stop by.
Yeah. If you're Arizona, stop by, and we're gonna release where we're going, where we're gonna be. I'm pretty sure the first day we'll visit like Cigar Daily. For those people who go to Cigar Daily, come say hi, right, and all that stuff. So, just put it out there. Make sure that you drop by, right, and I hope you guys enjoy the cigar. If you don't, that's fine. Tell us about it so that if we ever have a second cigar, we'll take those critique and make sure that doesn't happen on the second cigar.
I would love to have more critique than praise. Tell the truth.
Right.
That's-
So if we know what's wrong with it, we can fix it, or try to fix it.
Yep.
Right.
We don't know. Can't fix nothing.
Right. And this is our first, like I said, first one from the ground up. And if we were to have another project, which I hope we would do, it will be better or fix all the problem that we have.
All I know is Jesse gonna have a great time.
Okay. So yeah, that will be it for today. I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the night. Enjoy the weather warming up and everything. And yeah, have a good night, guys.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.